Well, hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be working on the old 52 right here. We're going to be installing some Fender Supports, trying to get them all situated and mounted in place where they can stay, so I can remove them and put them back on and don't have to worry about readjusting every time. So stay tuned, it's coming up. So I have the 52 up in the air, and my job today is going to be trying to make some kind of support for these fenders. Right now it's only, if you can see it or not, I got one bolt up here in the back part holding the back. I need to get a stable spot up in the front. Now I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have them cross member braces that protect it or keep it from going side to side, but I need something for vertical, for up and down. So what I'm thinking of, you look here from the bottom up, I'd like to have something to go up for a radiator support up there at the very top. And well, you know, I took the radiator support out, so I need to build some kind of new one, and I'm not really sure what to do right now. I've been a little bit perplexed with it. I have a few ideas, but none for certain, and none that really grabbed me the right way. So I have this metal that's down here. Forget that trailer hit, that's not what I'm talking about. I have this metal down here that I thought about going across from here to here on the frame, from there to there, and then coming up from this metal and attaching to this grill, and that will give the grill a support. That's one thing to do. This grill has all them holes in it all the way across the bottom for another piece of like sheet metal that goes up underneath here. I do not have that metal, never did, so that would kind of be neat. If I had that, I could probably put the brace on that some way, and it would kind of support all this. But we'll see about that. First things first, I want to make this where I can support that radiator and ultimately support one bolt on the front of them fenders to keep them fenders in one spot. Then it's going to be tear down time. I've got to take off the fenders, which is why I want to keep them. I want to get it bolted up right now, right where it's at, because it's perfect. So if I can get it braced up to keep it right where it's at, then I could unbolt it, bolt it back up in the same spot. See, I've got it marked right in here. These lines are hitting. I thought I had it cut perfectly, but I need to cut that grill some more. I need to trim it off a little bit on all these spots here in the back. That one not so much, but I want to give it a little bit more clearance. This side over here is just fine. And also too, I have marked down in here, I'm not sure if I can get a shot of that, but it's not really perfect fitment on these aftermarket grills. See, it's all the way butted up real tight over here. but these holes up here are off. So I'm gonna have to get a reamer and ream out them holes a little bit, elongate them, so I can get them started in there. This side over here, it bolts up fine, but that side over there was a little bit off, and I don't know why. But here's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at cutting these this radiator support. This is the old radiator support, and essentially I am just gonna have this front part right here, L shape, cut all this off. I'm gonna leave this support. Maybe I'm gonna use this because this is where the fenders bolt on too, and I want to use this to help support the fenders. I don't know how much support it's going to be after I cut all this off, because it's going to make this a little bit floppy, but I can always brace it up from underneath. If I have this, then my mounts for my evaporator, I can put them back in here, and this is where my radiator will sit, and I'll have something good to go on. I just don't know how I'm going to bolt this down. I may just weld it solid to the frame. I don't know. I'm missing the bolt here on the end. I must have cut that off, that end piece, at one time. Maybe I can find it. I didn't throw any metal away. I've saved all my metal. So if I could find this piece and weld it back on, that'd be great. But two bolts will hold the fender. This is a rat rod after all. So that's what I'm going for, and that's what I'm going to try to do next. I'll try to take you along with me here. I may set you up for a time-lapse little deal, but this has been our arduous process right here, getting this, because it would be really good access if I took all this off, the grill and that top old radiator support kind of deal. But if I take that off, then I'm losing all my adjustments. I'm losing all, the fenders could go ahead and wobble back and forth. This is what's keeping everything straight. You see, I got that strap across there. Everything is perfect. So fishing all this metal up in there and trying to get something tacked in, bolted on, it's rough. Granted, it's not as rough as it could be if I didn't have this lift. Thank God for the lift. That's awesome, and it's really helping me out on this build. But I'll try to take you along with me and show you what I do when I do it. Well, I know this isn't a great view, but it's the best I can do for now. So I'll try to fast forward this part of the video. Well, it looks like them uprights right here are not going to work at all. They're too wide. I thought they were only as wide as what the condenser was, but they're not. They're as wide as what the radiator is. And the radiator, you can see it, the radiator sits all the way back here at the back. It sits up. These uprights are right up here in front. So they've got to be cut off flush. This center part here, I'm not cutting this center part here flush. I'm going to leave it like that. looks like that would be really good bracing for my front grille. I can weld onto this, and also too, I don't know if you noticed, but my airbag sensors are up here for front end collision, and I'll be able to hook them back up. So if I can use this piece, it'll kind of be a win-win. But I'm gonna cut these uprights off, and then I'll be back. I'll be back. Well, I got it cut clean now. Let me see about fitting it up here. It's not going to be easy. I will tell you that. Well, guys, I believe the only way I'm going to be able to get this up in here is to take the grill off, because I can't go up in this way. I've got to go in straight from the front, and this is going to benefit me in, I think, a lot of ways if I can get this fitted in here good. So I believe that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take the grill off, which means I'm going to have to take that top radiator support bracket thingy, or whatever it's called, for the 52. I'm going to have to take that off, and I'm going to take the grill off. I'm going to leave my fenders a little floppy. It's the nature of the beast. What do you do? So, it's not really fun. I've only got a couple bolts, maybe 4, holding this grill on, but they're not really fun to go in and go out. It's not really easy. That's what I'm going to do. Bring you over here and show you what I'm working with. There. I've got it out. Now that radiator core support, bottom right there, it's going to go down underneath here between the condenser. This is the condenser, the radiator's right behind it. It's going to go underneath both of them. I'm leaving that plastic in between them as a kind of a shield to keep them from rubbing on each other. And yeah, I think it'll go in smoothly now. I don't know if I told you before, guys, but these rib nuts are phenomenal. They're awesome. Don't hesitate to go ahead and buy them, and buy the tool. Like I said, I don't know if I told you before, but I put them all. You can't see them too well, but I put them in there all along the top of that grill, and oh yeah, them things are a lifesaver. I put them back in the grill where these bolts go through. This side over here is what doesn't line up right. The center of the hole is going to be right about there on both of them, so I got to elongate that hole a little bit. Anyway, this is what I'm doing now. I figured I'd give you a close-up view, and I'm going to put you back here, let you see what I'm doing while I'm doing it. think it's going to be pretty good there, fellas. It looks like this cross member and this radiator support goes right between the two bottom grill pieces here, and it looks like it's going to work. So I'm going to take all this back off, and I'm going to cut where I need to, where I showed you before on the grill, which already needed to be cut anyway. I'm not cutting anything additional. Yeah. And then I'm gonna secure this radiator support to the frame. Not sure how I'm gonna do it yet. I may weld it directly to the frame, and I may make some brackets for it. We'll see. We'll see whatever is convenient. And I'm gonna push it back as far as I can to give me more room. But this is gonna solve a lot of my problems that I was having. Keep everything that you cut off. I got 2 buckets full of metal that I've cut off. I keep every little part. So I found that other part of the radiator support right here. So I should be able to weld that right back on. Well, I run out of gas in my wire welder, so that's okay. I'm not letting you down. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to weld this up. I got a gas-powered welder, and I drug the leads in here. We're going to weld this up with a gasoline welder. It's right outside the garage there. I strung the leads in here. Still going to get it done. And if that don't work, then I got another electric welder. And if that don't work, I got another flux core wire feed welder I could use. So we're going to get this done today, fellas. Well, it's hard to beat a good old Miller welder. One other thing runs just as run top notch. Runs good, welds good. The only problem I had was my welding rods are probably 5 years old. Been sitting in a box out in the out in the weather. They're in a rod oven, but you know, the things don't seal fantastic. So welding rods are a little bit sticky, but I'm not going to waste money. I'm going to use them up. I'll burn them suckers up. Just got to burn them a little higher amperage, and they'll burn fine. Well, I forgot to weld this. Little piece in, but if I run a lower amperage right now, because I'll burn right through that sheet metal with the rod, or this thin metal anyway. If I run it at a lower amperage, it'll stick like crazy. So I can't do that. I'm gonna have to wait until I get some gas from my MIG, and I'll get that part welded in. But at least I got this mounted in for now. I got a good tack in the back, welded it all the way across the front. I only put a tack in the back because there's a lot larger gap back there. I mean, I could take my time and fill the whole thing in, but as long as I've got it held in the back where it's not going to be doing that number, rocking back and forth, it's going to stay pretty stable up in the front. It's not going to break my weld. This here is really solid now. So I feel happy about that. Now I can go ahead and put my grill on here and mock that thing up and start building my braces. I got to figure out where exactly I want to go to. Let me see what kind of rod I got. Well, I was calling it rod, but what I meant was round stock. Yeah, I got some round stock, but it's way too heavy for this right here. Well, fellas, I'm gonna have to go into town and to the store, and I'm gonna have to get me some smaller round stock, and I'm gonna have to get some reamers that I completely forgot yesterday to get the reamers. See you when I come back, and we'll get this done. Well, fellas, I got some round stock here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a slit in the top with my grinding wheel, my cutoff wheel. I'm going to put these fender washers, at least one, I'm going to put it in that side, and I'm going to mount down here. I still have this piece to weld on, but I'm going to mount it down somewhere in here, maybe somewhere around where that spot weld is right there, and I'll probably put me a rib nut in there, and then I'm going to come up here, and I was thinking to take this off and come behind there with another washer, but that's just another step I don't need. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to weld that round stock right to the bottom of this one. That way this one bolt will hold it, like three different directions. It'll hold it this way and hold it this way. Yeah, maybe two directions. Yeah, it won't go nowhere, I'll tell you that. But that's what I think I'm going to do now, and I can pretty much do that on both sides and come straight up, because I like it. I'd like it to be the same on both sides. I think I have enough clearance in there. Everything is good, and yeah, I can do it on both sides. I've already got this welded up. This is super solid in here. You've seen the inner fender shake. That's not solid. It's not bolted up yet. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. And after I do that, then these fenders are going to be pretty good on the top. And then I will I'll do something more permanent with supporting them on the bottom. I'll lift it back up on the hoist, and that'll be pretty that'll be a pretty simple task right there. I might even just use that big rod that's already connected to them. But let's get on with it. Alright, I got the washer welded on the end. I kind of bent it over because this is going to be going on the bottom. And it's not a pretty weld because I run out of my argon mix shielding gas. So I'm using my other little piece of junk welder I got here. But it's doing the job. It's flux core. But let's get this thing put in there. See how she looks. See if I can do it with one hand. That's not too bad. I may have to set it up here and then bolt it on down. Put it right here for right now. I'm going to have to get this marked. I'm going to weld that in there. I better clamp this. Clamp this down here right where I want it, and then I'll place it. Let me go get a clamp. Alright, I have this clamped, and what I did is I pushed this over where I wanted it, and I have that marked, and I'm getting ready to cut it. And then I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna apply it to the other side and see if it matches up. It should, and I'll make two of them. All right, I got this cut, and I've already fitted up in here off camera, but I'm gonna do it again. Put that right there on my mark, and this fits. Move it around a little bit. It fits right there, so that's going to be good right there. Now I fitted on the other side, and it lines up. I notice this one here kind of comes up, and I had to angle this one around something. Oh, around that fitting right there for the AC. So I kind of went back with it. I didn't go up. So it's going to be a little bit different. By the time it's a little bit dark down here, but by the time I put it right in between these two here, this winds up way over here. So I'm going to have to make this side shorter. So since they're going to be different, I'm just going to go ahead and proceed with this one side. I'm going to drill this out now and put a rib nut in here, and then I'll bolt it in, and then I'll weld it up here. I can only weld it from the one side right now. I don't think, maybe. I don't think I can get to the other side to weld it good. I would really like to wait until I get my argon mix shielding gas and weld it with a good welder, but let's get that hole drilled and get that rib nut in there. Alright, well, I ended up welding this other side, well, tacking this other side in the same way. Got the same spacing. I measured from up here to down there on both sides, and I got the same measurement. So I know nothing had shifted. So I got everything welded in place and tightened up. Feel really good about it. Now when I bolt this in, this fender, it's going to be, because I got to take it off. So when I bolt it back, it's going to be in exactly the same spot it was. This spot over here, I ended up welding that in front, booger weld. That flux core does not do it pretty well. But this back piece here, it was too twisted and mangled to go ahead and weld back in place. So I'm gonna just, you know, lay that washer in there and weld that washer for a little bit of extra support, extra bracing. And I don't need a whole lot. There's only one bolt that goes in that end, and I'm not for sure if I'm even going to use it. I might, but if I do, it'll give it support. If not, it's there. I'm here anyway. I have the welder right here, so I may as well go ahead and burn it in. So I'm gonna do that, and then pretty much gonna call this a video. All right. Well, I got that all burned in. I'll paint that all up later. It's pretty scalding hot right now. Got that side. These fenders are pretty solid now. Pretty happy with that. I mean, down here at the bottom, I still need to brace them up. See how that's a little bit floppy right there, but that's okay. There is a brace up underneath there. I don't know if you can see it, but I just don't have it bolted up yet. But I will put one over here too. I don't know if there was one there originally, but I'll brace it up that direction right there, and that'll be good. But that can all be done when it gets put back on. These fenders got to come off, and I'm gonna have to address all this here that I've mangled up. I need to close all that in and get some filler in there. Maybe weld me up some patch panels, some seam sealer. We'll do it all up. I gotta still do the cab, seal the cab up across that line. I gotta be careful where that blue tape is, because that's the VIN number for the S10, and that's what I'm gonna be using for this build. So for now, fellas, that's it for today. I really appreciate y'all watching. Please like and subscribe, and give me some comments. Give me some good and bad comments. It all helps. Even the bad ones help. So really appreciate y'all watching. Until next time, see ya.